All right, guys, we are back for the third and final episode of both of the Southview properties. Guys, I bought these two 18-plexes for literally close with $5,500. But we've had to do over $500,000 in renovations, and I'm gonna break it down in this video. Everything from scratch. I'm gonna tell you what it cost, what some of the challenges we faced in this project, because there was a few. Every project is a little bit of a story, so I want to share this one in depth with you. But in this third one, guys, I'm going to break everything down financially so you know how much this costs, as well how you can do this for yourself. All right, guys, something I always love doing at all my properties, you always have to focus on what your presence is on the exterior. So guys, we do things like maintain all the trees. Literally, the trees are just not pruned. Nothing looked nice. Nothing has probably been touched since it's been planted. So we cut down the dead branches, just clean it up. And then also you can see on this building, literally the paint, it's just chopped up. It doesn't look really nice. So we're painting the buildings right now. So as you can see on this other one, the top has already been painted, looks much cleaner. Now the outside presence looks much nicer. Well, we're probably going to add some landscaping to the very front doors of these. At least it looks a lot nicer. And someone, when they're driving by, will be like, wow, that property is actually in decent condition. It looks like the owners must care about it. And it's your first overall impression. So make sure your outside of your property looks nice, because that's the only reason we'll get a bunch of applications to lease these things. And you should be paying attention, doing a drive-by, having someone else audit your properties, have them drive by and tell them what they think about your property. I always think about that when I'm doing this. Make sure you are too. One of the unexpected things that I did not think about when I checked this building was something like these big old water heaters. And there's actually one per building. So we had two of these. The problem is these give all the hot water supply for literally the entire building. So these suckers are not cheap. These are almost $11,000 a piece installed. And it wasn't just something I planned for. I did not know that they were as bad as they were. I thought we had everything checked in the utility room. Well, there happens to be two boilers and a water heater. Well, they went in and checked the boilers, which heat the building, but not the water heaters themselves. So guess what I got to do? We had to tag in $22,000 extra just to make sure we got these bad boys replaced so everyone has hot water. All right, guys, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. I want to show you exactly how we freaking closed the deal, how we got through the deal, and how we are managing to close out this deal and fill all the units. So let's talk about something. If you have not watched the first video though, on how I closed this for $5,500, go back and just refer to the video. I'm not gonna break all this down right now, but if you have not, stop right now, go back and watch that video, and then watch this one. Little minor things have changed, but I want to make sure that you guys understand this process all the way through. That way you get the most value and you can go out and do these deals yourself. So let's break down this deal, literally line item by line item, and show you where all the expenses went and what the final outcome is going to happen in this. All right, guys, remember the very first thing that we did, we created a statement of work for the contractors. It's basically a list of items, exactly what we wanted done. If we wanted an oven replaced, they replaced the oven. If we wanted a light fixed, they replaced a light. The thing about apartments, it gets a little tricky. You have multiple units, so you have to be very detailed. We wrote down the statement of work on literally each door. So the contractors, there's multiple contractors, right? Electrical, plumbing, HVAC, whatever they did, they could go in and see, oh, yep, this one needs an AC unit. Oh, yep, this one needs a kitchen light. We listed exactly what it needed on each door, and that kept everything very organized. But what did everything cost? Let's go. All right, the first thing, guys, is personnel. We have to staff the job with people. Make sure it's managed, make sure the subs are going through on time, make sure they're doing the things that we want them to do. And this alone costed us, it's about a 2-month project, costed us 24 grand or $12,000 per building. All right, guys, the very first thing, it's literally equipment, some of the construction cleanup, some of the demo, whatever we needed to do on site to clean things up so we could get ready for construction. And some of the miscellaneous items costed us almost $91,000. That's over $45,000 per building, and literally miscellaneous things that you don't think about, but it's everything from cleanup to rough demo to literally general carpentry. All right, the second thing, guys, we have things like doors, hardware, some of the closet accessories, some of the maybe the building permit in this as well. Any accessories that you need for some of these apartment buildings, lots of different hardwares, lots of different things like that. Actually costed us over $38,000 in this build, so that would be your second thing. The third thing, guys, we replaced the cabinets and the countertops in 22 of the 36 units that we had. This came in at over $101,000, almost $4,500 per unit to get new cabinets and countertops. Because again, this property was shot, meaning it was like 30-year-old cabinets. They just did wear and tear. You have to plan to replace them. And in 22 units, we actually had to do it. Fourth one was another big one. It's painting, but it makes such a drastic change. Whether all the units needed some kind of paint, a lot of them needed primer because there was like confetti on the walls and all this different writing. And the exterior just needed it because of the steel siding is just faded so bad. So we had $35,000 in the exterior to paint up all the exteriors of the buildings, and we had $65,000 to paint every single unit on the property. So that comes up to $100,000 total, literally just in paint. The fifth thing, guys, flooring. Literally, we had to replace 24 units in flooring. And what do we replace them with? A LVP product. Go back just to the second video. You guys can watch all about why we installed this product in all our units today. It's the lowest maintenance, it lasts the longest, and it can take the wear and tear that tenants put on it. So it costed us $110,000 to do 24 units. That's over $4,500 in units that we invested flooring into. But man, does it make a world of difference, and it should reduce our costs in the future. All right, guys, the sixth thing that we did in these is the appliances. So like I said, a lot of these got new kitchen cabinets. Not all of them, but most of them got new kitchen cabinets. And we had to do 24 sets of brand new appliances, which means it's 2/3 of the building, but it was over $2,700 to literally replace the appliances in each unit. So it was $65,000 in total. It was a big expense to this project, but it should make all the world of the difference with the new tenants. The seventh thing, guys, I had to do electrical, HVAC, and plumbing work. This was just literally miscellaneous, hooking up new faucets, or maybe installing new light fixtures, smoke detectors, and different things like that. Some of the drains were clogged. So whatever we needed replaced, that's where we budgeted $64,000, and we came in on that budget, but it costed us a lot for what we thought we had to do. So a lot of things, again, a 30-year-old building, almost everything is beyond its usable life. So we had to replace random fixtures here and there. All right, guys, here are the unknown things that I didn't know when I went into the construction project and that I found out later on. Things like this are going to happen in a project. So the first thing I shared with you was these water heaters, right? They are $11,000 literally per unit, $22,000 just in water heaters. I didn't even consider that they needed replacement. I thought they were okay. Something that I overlooked in the inspection process that was just, we thought they were looked at. They were right next to the boilers. They should have been. However, they were not caught. So that was $22,000 damage as a change order. Another change order that most people don't consider when you're doing these apartments is the blinds. We literally had to install brand new blinds through both of these buildings, and it costed us $12,000. I did not consider that these all needed to be replaced or that we should upgrade them all. It was something that I overlooked, but I don't want you to forget it in your next rental project, so make sure you have that considered. And here are two things that I just missed that I think could be very common in any project. So guys, don't miss your blinds and don't miss your water heater inspections. They could cost you a fortune, a lot more than you could say. All right, guys, so we went through the entire cost of this project. What does all this add up to? $668,000. Now you're like, whoa. We originally budgeted $575,000 for construction of this, but we did do a few extras that did cost us a little more. We painted the exterior and just a couple other things in the laundry rooms that we wanted to make sure looked right because there's only one laundry room per building. But something we also got at closing, because this building came with a water leak that happened in the process of closing, meaning it actually damaged like 2 or 3 units, and we had to like escape some black mold, and we had to vacate all the drywall and take out some cabinets and flooring. And anyway, we got an insurance check that will help cover $68,000 of this. So actually it's a round number of $600,000 is where the complete construction, the value add piece to both of these buildings. So we dumped over $600,000 into these. Does the math actually work when we plug it into the original project? All right, guys, so you remember in the very first video, we bought these buildings for $1.9 million, but we had a seller carry, so we didn't have to close with much money at all. We just had to include some construction costs, which we're actually gonna make a delta on, which is what you want to do in these value add projects. So guys, 1.9 was the original purchase price. We put in $600,000 in construction costs, coming in with $2.5 million total cost. But we had an appraisal done before we did the construction. And once we get these units stabilized, which they're filling right now, and we are marketing them very well, it's showing very well from the outside that we're painting, guys, it'll be worth $2.8 million. And we actually think it'll be worth over $3 million if we were to reappraise it at that point, because we're actually on the outlook to get more rent than we considered in the pro forma. So guys, we put in $600,000 into construction costs into these units, but we created a delta of $300,000, which we will be able to back out most of our money because we had a seller carry on this, and we'll have a property that cash flows for a very long time. And we fixed all the problems that it's gonna have for the next 10 years. So it'll be a very easy property to own. So guys, that's how we broke down this deal. That's literally from start to finish. Guys, I hope that you join us in the next one. Like and subscribe to the channel. I wanna do more projects like these. I need your comments below and your questions. Let us know. I appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.